So light pollution is really any adverse impact of artificial light at night, and it comes in three main forms. The first one is sky glow, which is the brightening of the sky above populated areas. And that's caused by misdirected light scattering throughout our atmosphere. And it reduces the contrast so we can't see the faint, beautiful celestial objects like the Milky Way. Light pollution also comes in the form of glare, which is basically light entering your eye at shallow angles. And we've all experienced this when somebody is driving towards us with their high beams on, and it makes it harder to see and it's kind of painful. That's glare. And then the third form is light trespass, which is light from another property or house coming onto your property or into your window. And a lot of us have probably experienced that as well, having to install blackout curtains when the real purpose of them should be to keep the light inside of your house. Now it's, keeping light from other places from coming into your house.
Interesting. So what are the adverse effects? What kind of damage is this doing?
So basically every organism that's been studied is impacted by light pollution in some way. We can think of adding light to a nocturnal environment as similar as bulldozing trees in a rainforest when it comes to habitat protection. So most of the animals on this planet are actually nocturnal, and all of the species that have been studied are impacted by light pollution in some way. It can interfere with mating, with migration, with gathering food, hunting, all of these things that animals need the darkness for. Artificial light just totally blows them out of the water and makes it really hard to exist in a society with so much light. When sea turtles, when the eggs hatch, historically, in order to find their way to the ocean, the turtles look to the brightest part of their field of vision, which is the moon and the stars reflected in the ocean. But nowadays they turn around and head towards the bright lights of beachside developments and towns. And already only 1 in 1,000, or estimates up to 1 in 10,000, actually make it to adulthood.
Wow, that's crazy. So what can be done about this? What is the dark sky movement? Can you take me through some of these solutions that you guys have?
Yeah, well, the great thing about light pollution mitigation and bringing dark skies back is that all of the efforts are completely scalable. So you can start in your own home, right? Look at your own lighting on your house. Is your light shining into your neighbor's window? Is it pointing up into the night sky? If so, just install a shield and point that light down to the task at hand. Color of light is really important as well. We really want to use warmer color light. It's lower wavelength and generally less impactful to humans in the environment. So more like amber firelight, kind of romantic lighting, right? Instead of like bright white hospital style lighting. And then also intensity of lighting. So you don't want a super, super bright light where you don't need one. You only use as much light as you need and no more. And then if you can, install timers, motion sensors, or dimmers to reduce the amount of time that light is on. And of course, really evaluate if you need that light in the first place, right? A lot of lights are the jewelry of the home or just installed for no real reason. If you need it to put your key in the door when you're coming home, that's great. But if you're just shining it up into a tree to make it look pretty, maybe think about the birds that are trying to sleep in there.
All right, Bettymaya, you're making me feel bad about all of my ring lights I've got going here. All right, so you guys have an event coming up. If we want to learn more, you have an event we can all take part in, correct?
We do, yeah. Our annual Under One Sky Global Virtual Conference is coming up November 11th and 12th. And it is a extravaganza 24 hours of all things dark sky. We do it that way because we are an international organization. And so we want there to be a time for everyone around the world to join when it's convenient to them. We have incredible storytellers from a lot of different countries all around the world. We have 3 different engagement workshops, so you can learn like hands-on tools and skills to bring home and protect the night sky in your own community. We also have a virtual cocktail hour and award ceremony, so you can meet these incredible dark sky advocates all around the world. We have a closing panel with astronaut Nicole Stott and Tuvok from Star Trek Voyager, Tim Russ, actor, will be joining her to talk about actual real space flight as well as the science fiction world. And I think that's going to be a really great conversation to close out the conference.
It sounds like you guys are doing a great job of educating people, but in a really fun way.
Thank you. Yeah, and registration is free, so everyone can join. It is required to register. You can look it up at conference.darksky.org for more information.
Awesome. Cool. Well, that's all I got. Anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, there's so much like there is a growing body of research about how light pollution can be impactful to human health as well. And that's something we should be thinking about. It's a growing body of research. You know, we can't say that light pollution causes cancer, but all of the arrows kind of keep pointing in the direction that this is something we should be aware of in terms of making sure we're planning lighting decisions in our communities that think about human health and community health.
And I mean, it doesn't seem like a big inconvenience either. The suggestions you made are really easy fixes.
Yeah, well, and something I always love to say is that a lot of pollutions are very difficult to remove from the environment, but we can solve light pollution with the flip of a switch, right? When you take that light pollution out, it's gone immediately. So we can really see results as soon as we make the changes. So it's a really hopeful topic, in my opinion.